We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing episodes of the Walking Dead universe, and we're live. I'm your host, David Cameo, and I am joined by CosmoMom09, Rachael Burt. How you guys doing? We're live again. It's raw. We can't edit this out.
I know, it's so weird.
It is so weird. We haven't done. First of all, we haven't gone live to cover an episode since the beginning of this season, and second of all, we haven't taken over for Talking Dead since Fear the Walking Dead, because Talking Dead only decided to go on the beginning of the season. Did they go on? I think they went on for the mid-season premiere, or did they just not go on until the season finale?
They did one for the break. I don't know if it was before or after the break, but
Yeah. Hey, Linda, what's up? Just to prove to you, we're live. Linda, what's going on?
I don't know what's happening. I can't see anyone. I can't talk to anyone.
Yeah, we're obfuscated, you know? Okay, so just to let everybody, let's just let everybody know, we actually gave the meeting request to our coffee backers. Oh, what are coffee backers? Well, you see that thing in the lower left-hand side of the screen, that ko-fi.com/squawkingdead? That's the way you can support us. It's for $3 a month for less than a cup of coffee. You can get 30 days of exclusive access to our unedited recordings, to be with us in the real-time chat, and instead of the laggy, seconds behind YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook chat, and etc. with all the others. So join us. And so people, we went on a little bit beforehand. We actually started recording a little bit beforehand. And I totally wish I would have gotten Rachel's reaction to that last couple of scenes, because it was precious. I wish I would have recorded right beforehand. So, yes, we're live, Lois. We're live, and we're going to be here with you as we discuss this episode. And let me bring my notes up, because this stuff is going to be all in the recording. So
I didn't even take any notes.
Yeah, I took tons of notes, people.
Oh, my goodness. I do notes on my second viewing. That'll be tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, it's too bad we're not going live tomorrow.
Right?
Hey, what's up, Italio Enrique?
Hello.
Italio Enrique 666, of course, the sign of the devil. So Linda could not wait to tell us about her theory about everything. There's a bunch of things you were right about. So if you like what you hear, support us. Support us on ko-fi.com/squawkingdead. And if you give us coffees during this live stream, your message will show up in that lower left-hand side corner forever on YouTube and Facebook. So, getting that out of the way, let's start talking some shit. Okay, since you're the only one here, Rachel. Well, actually, see, that's the thing. We have to take a moment to recognize that Rachel has been like a just sublime trooper. She's been like, she's my rock. She's my rock. She's my island. And so that's the only reason why I have to kind of point to Carol sometimes, is because Rachel's been there consistently for every episode. So it's like, all right, I got to take somebody else's take, Rachel. Come on. I hope you understand, Rachel. I hope you forgive me. But that's my way of saying I love you and thank you for being here. So,
of course.
So,
I love being here.
And without further ado, though, let's see where we land. Give me your take.
Man, I feel like a lot of suspicions were confirmed this episode. Some obvious ones. We had a lot of answers to a lot of questions that we've had so far, and it feels really, really good. This almost feels like where a break would happen, but I'm so glad that it's not, because we're not going to have to hang on. Right, we're not going to have to wait a month to find out what happens next. So, oh my gosh, it was just a beautiful, beautiful episode. I loved every single minute of it.
It was a Greg Nicotero symphony. I'd probably even say.
Right? Yes, it was just amazing.
And I don't know if this is a consistent thing when Greg Nicotero directs, whom, by the way, was the director for tonight, along with the writer Nicole Moranti. Whenever Greg directs an episode, I feel like walkers get a little bit more special attention in terms of build and in terms of like feature. Like, so there's like particular attention to focusing in on them and making them kind of like a feature of the episode.
Absolutely. It's funny you say that, because specifically the walker that Carol interacted with that came up out of the ground, both times I saw that, oh my gosh, I just was staring at him. I'm like, oh, I would have absolutely loved to help build that walker right there. I mean, you could just see it was in the ground for so long. I mean, vegetation had started to grow over it. There was mud caked on the skull. Yeah, the vines and grassy stuff like attached to its arm. Yeah, like root systems had it was just, the show always pays attention to detail, and I say it all the time, but I appreciate that so much, and that walker specifically just had me so captivated.
Yeah, for sure. And even like, okay, take for instance, like if we're starting from the last scene, since we're live, we can kind of go backwards a little bit. That one scene with Alpha and Negan walking through the woods trying to get to Lydia, quote unquote. That one walker is just this anchor to this scene. Like they're looking at the walker from a distance, and there's such a vibe when it comes to that walker, because it kind of reminds you of that walker that was in the field in the beginning of the series. And then they have another walker last year. I think it was in the storm. Like they were
lone walker.
Yeah, that they thought, is that a whisper? What's going on here?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like these kind of callbacks that show up every once in a while that kind of make you think, Yeah. So yeah, I mean, where do we even start? Okay, like we're already getting questions. Lois is like saying, who is Alex? Well, nobody knows. Alex is the Hilltop's doctor.
We know. Yeah, that's all we know. Alex is a doctor.
Yeah, and I think we said it last episode. It was like, it could be a guy, it could be a girl.
Could be.
We don't know.
Yeah, we have not met Alex yet.
And Nisa's saying Carol's a badass and she can take a punch, or a cherry cheesecake. Now I can take that out of my notes. Thanks, Eugene.
So funny. So I'm glad Nisa brought that up too. What I noticed immediately, and I don't know what to chalk this up to, but right after Yumiko pops Carol, I almost expected there to be like, I don't know, a little split or like something. Like when you punch somebody hard enough, does that not break skin? Would she not have a mark there?
Yeah, I guess she didn't have
hard enough.
I didn't really notice a mark, actually.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, Yumiko, kind of pulling your punches or what?
Maybe though. I mean, I don't know. If you really think about it, like Yumiko's angry.
Kate says it would normally create a mark or a split. If you get hit, that's a sensitive area. So.
See how fast Kate could answer right now? Because Kate's actually in the real time chat right now. So it's like there's no lag, and so you guys are seeing this like 3 or 5 seconds or 10 seconds behind. So, Anyway, so I went by coffee and it took me to Alex. Ooh, Alex. Who's Alex? Yeah. Oh, maybe by the way, maybe you spelled Squawking Dead wrong, which is a foible of being Squawking Dead, is that nobody knows how to spell it. It's the truth. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, because there's I think the thing is that like Yumiko doesn't want to punch her to like kill her.
No.
So
but she wants to hurt her. She wants her to hurt like Magna's hurting.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so it's like one is enough. And did we know even where she connected, like physically? No, right?
It looked, in this general area.
Yeah. I don't know. And look, Carol's made of sterner stuff. Too, by the way, sure. She's made of sterner stuff, and Yumiko's not trying to kill her. And 3, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's a really big point. You know what I mean? So,
well, point 3 would be let's not forget who she used to be married to.
Oh yeah.
She's taking harder hits.
All right, so I think maybe it's a good opportunity for us to kind of go through the. I don't think we usually do this, but to go like right back to the beginning of the episode where the battle Hilltop is raging, and the first thing that I noticed, like we can go through a lot of things, but the first thing that I noticed was Judith kills somebody for the first time.
Yeah.
Human being, a human whisperer. And the one thing that I wanted to say was, fuck all y'all. Fuck all y'all. Because for all your talk about double tapping Beta, the first person Judith thought she killed. I was 100. I mean, like, I hate doing this. Because I hate doing I was right and you're wrong. But like she froze. She completely froze. Not only did she freeze, like the guy died and you think, oh, that's Michonne's kid. You're supposed to stab him in the head. I'm like, she froze so hard she didn't even think about that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think initially she thought she killed a walker, and then the mask fell off. She saw that it was a human, and that's what was like, whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
And then not to kind of go to the end of the episode, but there's part of me that kind of wants to get this out of the way. But yeah, so at the end of the episode, she has to deal with Earl as well. So this is two people she's had to watch die. And she got to see this from both sides. She got to see an enemy dying and still freezing and feeling something, you know? And then also you get to see Earl die. She gets to see Earl die. She has to see Earl die. And it kind of goes back to the last episode where Daryl was saying those aren't just walkers that are hanging from the rafters. Those were people. And so she got to see two examples, both of which made her pause. The enemy and a friend. And so it just goes to show I'm not worried about Judith being one of those kids in the apocalypse. It's kind of what Daryl was saying, you know, and what it's like he was saying, like, you know, when you realize that these aren't just walkers, it's going to affect you, and it should affect you. Please let it affect you.
Right. I completely agree, Kate. It was absolutely heartbreaking to watch her reaction when she walked in the room and kind of was piecing together what had happened. And you know, it's amazing that Judith still has that much humanity, considering she grew up in this. Like, she doesn't have any memories of going to the movies or owning a cell phone. Like, she grew up in this, and she still is that good of a person in her core to you know, have pause like that. So
right.
This world has not tainted her.
Yeah, we were hoping. We were hoping.
Yeah.
that was the case. Let me see. Yeah, everybody's like saying that was heartbreaking too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Linda's saying I'm worried for Judith, but I don't think you have to worry anymore. I don't think you have to worry so much.
Well, worried in what capacity, though?
Yeah, actually, she's saying she's not okay. That's yeah, we don't know what the ramifications are going to be. Okay. I have a feeling she's going to be okay, right? But we don't know.
I think she'll get through it, but yeah, that's got to mess anybody up, especially a child.
Yeah, but maybe what Linda's saying is actually going to be pertinent to the rest of the season too. Like, maybe this is something they don't just drop. Maybe this is something they use to further Judith's character development. That's not small, right?
No, that would, I could see it going that way.
Yeah. You want to watch the real-time chat while I look at the other chat? Because I can't see it so well.
I know. I'm reading Kate. I'm reading what Kate's sending to us. Yeah.
I feel like an old man. I swear to God. But to be fair to me, I have, I think, 18 windows open, OBS, notes, Instagram chat, Restream chat, which is a bunch of chats. I can
at least watch this chat.
Appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, we're not.
Kate's asking, you know, how it's a good point, but I keep saying she's going to, saying that she's going to break, but how can she break when she was brought up in this world? Yeah.
Well, that's the double-edged sword, right? Yeah. Like she probably has a propensity to survive, but survive what? Yeah, survive the apocalypse, but survive people she knows dying, right? So,
and then the mental strength that it takes to be able to do all that, to do what it takes to survive. Yeah,
precisely. That to me, I think she has, or at least she has most of it. She has like the underlying software to operate.
Now she needs the experience and to use that mental strength that I think she has. Yeah. And I think Linda's right. We're going to see her kind of get through all of this mentally. We'll see how strong she is. Yeah. She'll come out.
Yeah. Come out. Jimmy says, let Judith hang out with Auntie Carol. Like, no, maybe.
No, you know what? I love Carol, but do not send your kids to her.
This does not seem to work out well for kids.
Don't do it.
She'll be on that cookbook. No.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's no more room on the cookbook.
Oh my. I mean, there is, but no.
But don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. So next scene is basically Eugene foolishly going back to get the radio while Rosita goes, Eugene, what the fuck are you doing? But did you? I really didn't think. I mean, part of me was just like, what am I seeing right now? Like a grown man knowing that he has a date next week. I don't know. Maybe he was well, it does kind of go back to that scene that with him and Carol. Like he probably immediately thought like, there's no way I can. I don't know. Maybe it was just so bad. It does tell you how bad the Battle of Hilltop was and how like when you look back at Barrington House burning. You know, there's a part of you that doubts that you'll be able to do this because your community needs you, right? So, like, how can I think of myself?
Oh,
right.
For in Eugene's case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess when I saw him look up there and see the thing burning, what I first thought was, okay, and I don't know how many people can relate. So he's never met this person, right? Okay. That radio is his only connection to Stephanie. So when he looked up there and saw that building,
right,
I almost felt like for a moment he saw Stephanie burning. Like he had to run up there and rescue her.
Oh, wow. I didn't really think that. I don't know. But that's a good thought.
When you're in a panic and that is his only connection to her, if he loses that in his mind, he loses Stephanie.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, that's interesting. But going back to also Carol, like what's interesting about that scene is how you have Carol who, yes, she's doing this for her people in a way, but there's the underlying motivation is really because is really revenge. Mm-hmm. I mean, she killed my kid, she decimated the kingdom, etc., etc. And you have Eugene who's like, I can't go meet this person, it would be selfish. You know, my people it's like two ways of caring about your people.
Yeah.
You know, and these two things, and these two people finally meet, and you see these two polar opposites almost saying, and it's almost as if like Eugene found the exact person to tell him, yes, go see that lady.
Go.
I would. Like, of course I would.
Right. Well, I mean, he's almost got to, right? I mean, this could be his only chance.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, can you imagine if anybody else had said this? Like, if you went to anybody else for this advice, it's very possible he'll be like, "Shut the fuck up!"
Right? Just wait, man.
I mean, dude, Nabila is burnt up, man. She needs your help.
Right? Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. Jimmy's like, "Take off, bro. Come on, bro. Gotta take off."
Kate, he's going to see Stephanie, the girl that he's talking to over the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to go meet her at the train yard in a week.
Yeah, exactly. And across the Kanawha River. Oh my God, it's burned into my brain now. At the Charleston rail station, south of the Charleston rail.
South of
south of the Kanawha River. Wait, okay. It's in there somewhere. It's just jumbled up. Yeah. It's like I have dementia or something. Anyway,
but it's all there.
Yeah, it's all there somewhere. It's just it's all jumbled. Okay, so when Magna popped onto the scene, okay. Let's walk through this a little bit step by step because, okay, let me tell you my take. Because I was going to say, oh, you tell me. Okay. No, it's me. It's all about me.
Go.
Because I was like, is this real? I was like, are they seeing Magna? There's a part of me is like, is Yumiko like imagining this? And even when Carol was looking on, I was still kind of like, well, is she looking at Yumiko like staring out into space, about to shoot an arrow, putting it down, or is she seeing Magna and realizing, oh dang, I mean, I'm glad she's not dead, but oh dang, this could come back to haunt me. Like, so what was your feelings right when you saw that? Yeah, see, even Linda was saying like, oh, I thought it was a dream.
Yeah, Kate said she thought she was a walker.
Right.
No, I didn't. Nope. As soon as I saw Magna's face, I looked at Eric and she went full Nick.
Fear. Yeah. Wow. And she does kind of resemble Nick too.
A little bit.
Or Frank Delane even.
Similar features. Sure.
Yeah. Like the wild hair and the darker complexion too. Oh my God. By the way, and you know what? Renee sang that too. Iowa Mama of 3. By the way, Undead Walking contributor.
Yes.
Shout out. See, proving that we're live.
We're live.
Yeah, she says that she thought she was a walker and thought Miko was just imagining also. Yeah, which is, by the way, goes to like the effect that they wanted. I mean, I'm assuming that they wanted. If people are thinking the same thing, there's something about getting it just right to where people see the same thing, right?
Yep.
So, Linda, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, no.
I wanted to, but like...
Say it.
Okay. Because there were a couple people that were like commenting about Magna's mouth in this episode. Like, or like Nadia Hilker's mouth. Yeah, let's just leave it there.
Okay.
It did bother me in the dialogue scene with Yumiko, but let's just say we all saw it and we were all like, Sheffo. Okay. I don't want to get canceled, folks. Thank you. See you. Good night.
All right.
We already dealt with killing kids in the apocalypse, and then
oh my gosh,
that turning into some sort of racism thing for some reason. The 2 white kids and then turned to brown kids. I don't know.
So Magna and Yumika definitely broke up, though, right? That was definitely a dumping scene.
Okay, so you want to skip to that because let's talk about that. No, they did not break up. They did. No,
you don't think so?
I think the dialogue may have been handled a bit weirdly. Okay. But because I thought they broke up too. However, I think it started with I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that was kind of the.
And then, at least I want. Oh yeah, okay. This is why the dialogue.
And then talking about how great it was to not be together.
Right in the interim. This was in the interim. Like it was great to get some sleep, it's like, and not hoard the pillow. Like I don't snore, but I think she meant I can't do this anymore. I can't fight anymore. That's what it was.
Okay.
I really turned it over in my brain.
Okay.
And it sounded like they were breaking up, but just the way the dialogue kind of came off.
It was very lighthearted at the end, kind of joking about, that I was a little confused, but my takeaway was dumping, but you've changed my mind.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, only because I thought about it a lot and I
think Kate agrees too.
It did seem that way, but the dialogue could have been handled a little bit better, or maybe that was intentional. I don't know. Maybe.
Not putting everything right out on the surface.
Yeah, Pat Watt agrees with me also on Periscope. He says, or he or she. Pat's a funny name. Alex, Pat, Eugene.
Chris.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that's what we're saying as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
So we got that out of the way. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this live, people. We could usually cut it up, be like, yeah, we look good. We're doing pre-record.
Look how on the ball we are.
Yeah, like snap. Like at one moment I'm doing this, and the next moment I'm doing this. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I think I got people because I think everybody thought they broke up.
Yeah,
I
did.
And since we have the luxury of kind of watching it in advance and like watching it again and then taking notes, we can really like dig in. Yeah, Nisa's saying the same thing. So okay, so now we're going to talk about aftermath, like just after it's all done, and then we do see Negan trouncing across the ashes of Hilltop, and that dude, that Hilltop survivor that I was talking about in the trailers, looks gnarlier than I could have ever imagined.
That was so, again, just beautiful work.
And whose fault is that? I mean, who's to credit for that?
Thank you, Nicotero. My idol.
I know, right?
Absolute beautiful work.
Yeah, and then, but we kind of knew, even from the trailers, we kind of knew that that Negan was going to take that guy out, right? Like take that Hilltopper out. It felt like I think so. Yeah, that's what it was leading towards. But you know what that means. And that's the only thing that got me to think, oh, Negan may be on our side, because he knows that Alpha does not want him to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like Alpha wants these people as guardians, I don't know. And so you do see him take the Hilltopper out, and he's like, force of habit.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I guess I missed. don't miss again. Yeah. So I don't know. And that like finally got my wheels turning. Like, oh, okay, something's going on here. But
we'll talk about that, Kate. Yeah.
What was that?
The conversation between Negan and Alpha.
Oh yeah,
we'll
definitely will. We have to get into that.
Definitely.
And by the way, there's some things that that I know we're going to bring up, but I want to bring up at the end, like things that are left hanging. We'll definitely bring those up at the end because there's like four or five of those things. But what I want to tell people is that there is this weird parallel going on. Right now we're in episode 10-12, right? Season 10, yep. Episode 12. Last year on episode 9-12, Alpha had just gotten Lydia back from Hilltop. Yeah, and they were walking back to their camp, and Henry's following after her, etc. And then, so you figure out here that in this one scene right here is that I don't have everything I want, and then that's Lydia. Like, so it's weird that we get this weird parallel where we're back at Hilltop, we're back at the gates, and now Alpha does not have Lydia, does not get Lydia, and so I thought that was really, really interesting to kind of, and then now knowing how this episode ends, there's like the weird full circle feeling. Like if I was a fortune teller, I probably could have told how this thing would have laid out. Like, oh, Alpha's dying in this episode. Yeah. Based on that alone. Right. So anyway, that's, I thought I'd bring it up, folks. I thought I'd bring it up. It's kind of interesting.
It's very interesting. I love when they do that, the episode parallels. I'm just not, I don't know. I don't, it doesn't jump at me like that. I don't know what to attribute it to. I don't get that. I don't know how to make better words. Words. Yeah. But
let me see.
I guess I don't remember exactly what happened this episode last season to draw those parallels.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think I just randomly thought, wait, where were we last year? Last year around this time, we were just getting introduced to the Whisperers. Like around this time, we saw them kill Jesus.
Oh yeah.
But then we walked into the next season, a couple episodes of lead-in before we really got to see them. And then, so I was thinking, oh, right about now, see, what I really thought was right about now, oh, Alpha's at the gates asking for Lydia. So that was the episode just before, so 9-11. Okay. And then, but it turns out we were 9-12 where she gets her back, which is interesting. So anyway, so I wanted to actually go to the chat, which was, Pat says, I always thought Negan was on our side. And I was thinking and what we'd been saying for the last few episodes was I don't know. I didn't know, meaning I ultimately knew that Negan was not necessarily going to be on our side at the end, but he's going to contribute in some form or fashion to our group. But I was open to the possibility that, and I'm still not kind of wrong, that he's kind of Team Whisperers in a weird way. Now it's just a slim kind of way and we'll talk about that when it comes to Alpha and Negan's dialogue, because there's a lot to parse out in that. Yeah. But, oh my God, Rachel's there. Rachael Burt, TWD meme queen on Facebook.
Hey.
And she had her own discussion, by the way, tonight live. So I love mirroring the mirroring of the comic art, the cover art of Negan holding Alpha in the scene when they're standing together in the field. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll definitely get to that. Yeah. I cannot wait.
Yeah. I think I only really questioned Negan's loyalty to us, I think once, and it was a couple weeks ago. You had finally convinced me that he was fully Whisperer. And I did agree, right? And I did agree, but then I ultimately said, he might be Team Whisperer now,
right? But
he will eventually come back and help us out.
Yeah, we were on the same page on that.
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
But I don't know now seeing how things played out. Carol made a very good point last week, and she called him, our Dante, and that
our Carol, OG Squawk and D. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Called him our Dante, and I thought that was a perfect description because Dante fully came in and became one of us.
Yeah.
So and that's what
fully came in,
Negan
became
did.
One of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a very good point. I still what was I gonna say now? Oh, I lost my train of thought. Words.
And we're live.
Thoughts.
Words. That happens so often.
Yeah, words often come before thoughts with me. So,
Yeah.
I'll be like, it was, and I think, and who, what? Yeah. That is a really, really good parallel. Like Dante, Negan being Dante, the Dante of the Whispers, or the of our gang. But I will. Okay, now I remember my train of thought. I do maintain that there is something really, really fucking fishy about. I mean, if you're gonna have Carol go full ham on trying to get the Horde, and maybe that was her piece in trying to take down the Whispers, fine. But she was so gung-ho that she was willing to kill, put people in harm's way to do it. And so, I mean, you could almost, if I had to boil it down to something, it's like Negan be Neganing and Carol be Caroling, right? And so, which is, I mean, it's not satisfying to me on a narrative level, because if Carol was the one, and she is the one who released the Negan, then why be so desperate? If you have somebody on the inside that can affect the outcome, why act so desperately? And that's the only, and we mentioned this last week. Why, how could it be Carol if she's so desperate to take out the Horde? And the only way, the only way I could boil it down is Carol be Caroling. and you know, but we knew. We all guessed that it was her, though. We all guessed that it was Carol.
Guess that.
Like right from the jump.
Yeah. Right from that episode, we said it could have been her. She also did say, and maybe it was just sort of like her being jokey, but she's like, took you long enough. So maybe part of her panicking was him taking so long, and she felt the need to speed the process up. I don't know.
What the hell's wrong with you, Carol? Like, come on, man.
Or you just made a good point. Maybe her part of the deal was, I'll handle the Horde. You take out Alpha.
Right. Yeah. What took you so long? You didn't do so well yourself, Carol.
Right.
Maybe take your time, I guess. And that's probably part of the problem, because the more I thought about it, again, it's messy. It's real messy. But if you really, really do think about it, it does bring you to the scene with Negan and Aaron. Because once you're done with the episode and you get a chance to digest, it takes you back to that scene, and you see, and the thing that makes you kind of question it is what happens after that scene. But Negan is sitting there. Aaron's like, "I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker!" and Negan's like, "Well, so slow down there. I can explain." And like, see, there's a thing I have with Carol right now, and we're trying to take out the Whisperers, but no, you don't get to that part. And then the thing that makes your brain go is Negan just going, "Goodbye now. Goodbye. I'm just gonna go now."
Yep.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Goodbye.
Man, that scene with Negan and the one walker that just kept passing.
Yeah. That, by the way, that's a good way of going back to that as well. But like,
I was laughing so hard at that. He's like, "Really?"
I was like,
it was funny.
I can't even do this right. I led a bunch of humans to survive in a warehouse with air conditioning, by the way, and I can't seem to wrangle this one fucking walker.
Right.
Well, batter up. But yeah, you forgot the funny thing that springboarded into that one scene.
Oh yeah, between him and Beta.
Franny McDo knives.
Which was another comic book reference.
Right. Which we weren't sure we were going to get.
Yep.
We kind of thought we got it that one scene where they first kind of meet, but like the Jolly Green Giant reference, but.
Yep. Keeps getting better.
And maybe I don't know. There's so much that will Negan ever see Beta again, right? So, and what will that look like?
If Negan sees Beta again, it will be fighting, because there's no way Negan can go back to the Whisperers now.
Right.
What's he gonna say? "Hey, where's Alpha?"
The guys. Hey. And who's the guys in this scenario?
Yeah.
I guess
Beta.
Yeah, I guess I am the lioness. Anyway, are you watching the chat? Because I'm not.
Oh no! Well, Kate had to step out.
Oh, okay, good. Yep. Oh, good, because you need to sleep. You're in the
No
UK.
kidding.
Goddammit.
Holy crap! What time is it there? Like 3, 4 in the morning?
It's well, they're 4 hours ahead because their time. I think their time is switching this weekend, or sorry, 2 weeks. I think. So they got like we're one less hour away from them now. So it's like four hours behind. So because our clock switched 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weekends ago, because we're weird. Beta's going to take revenge, run Negan. Beta was so brutal with Gamma and Mary. Hilltop is gone, Maggie will return.
Yeah. I am sad to see Gamma go.
Yeah. Well, let's get this one thing out of the way though. Frown and McTwo Knives. Okay. Negan spotting Lydia hobbling away, which brings us to Aaron. Just to kind of bookend the Aaron thing, like there is the messy thing about that whole thing is that like there is a plan and it's messy, and both of them for some reason felt like they could not share the plan, because if you isolate, the more people you let know, if you get captured, I mean, this is my assumption, of course. Mm-hmm. The more people you let in on it, if somebody gets captured, it'll let them in on the plan. And it's just like Dante. The way they let Dante in was it was just Alpha, it was just Dante, and the information was flowing only in one direction, one bi-directional way. Just Dante, just Alpha. I don't think even Beta, like we said, we asked this question like when we saw the behind the scenes of Dante going to Alexandria. It was like, I don't even think Beta knew about it.
No.
Right?
I don't think he did.
And so in this similar fashion, parallel, Carol, being Alpha of our Alexandrians, sends out Negan, which, by the way, I mean, similar. It's funny how, like, in some way, oh my God, and now I'm thinking about this too much, but, like, here's the question. Do you think Negan is the new Dante? Like, for real, like actual, like comic book Dante. And do you think?
No.
That's so weird though, isn't it? Like, no. Of course, no. It doesn't make sense. Where that's
going, right? No, absolutely. It's
Glenn's
never,
killer.
ever. Maggie and Dante end up together in the comics. That would never, ever
happen with Negan.
Ever happen, ever. No.
By the way, I'm marking your words in the event that they do this.
If they do, oh no, they won't. There's no way.
There's no way, right? But what if they get us to swallow anything at this rate?
If I could say, if they do this, I would shave my head, but I already did. I'm that confident. Like, it's not gonna happen.
If they do this, I will grow my hair out double. By the way, Linda, see you out. I know it's like 3:42 in France, so it's like 5 hours ahead. So thank you for sticking around. By the way, she's the best, absolute best. Yeah. So, yeah. No. At this rate, like, and I'm not saying I'm a schmuck, because I literally just called them out on how messy their Carol Negan situation was. No. But yeah, if they could somehow convince me narratively that that's possible, I mean, they deserve everything. I don't know. I'm not saying it would. I don't think it makes sense, obviously. But God, man, that bothers me. It just bothers me that it's a thought. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah. Negan spots Lydia hobbling away. Aaron, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we'll tackle the Luke thing, because Luke is with Aaron. Luke is incapacitated. Then walkers come. Okay, we'll skip that. And then Negan capturing Lydia. Right?
Oh, you know what we skipped over?
What?
Magna talking about Connie.
Oh, yeah, well, because we're jumping around. Okay, so yes.
Right. Connie, she said she lost Connie.
Right.
I'm not convinced she's dead. Yeah. I hope nobody is.
Yeah, I'm not convinced either. Convinced either. I think
they just got split up.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't see a body, right?
Exactly.
And which means anything can happen. Mm-hmm. You know, let's go into that though. Yeah. Because I mean, we might as well do it organically. Just get out of the way. But so yeah, what do you think is going to happen though?
Well, I mean, it happened how Magna said. They just got separated by the herd and everything, and it is a little strange that Connie didn't show up at Hilltop, in a similar manner that Magna did. That's a little concerning.
Yeah.
But I still don't think she's dead. I don't know. Maybe she broke away from the herd at some point and she's, going to approach someone in a different way.
Yeah, maybe she's somewhere entirely different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they were at one point part of the same herd, but Connie could have, walked away.
Yeah, but
got to the edge and jumped out.
Here's the thing about herds, though, and if you're part of one, is that if you do start walking away, a couple will start walking with you.
True.
So that's a bit dicey, right?
She could wander away far enough, and if there's only a few behind her, take them out.
Right. Well, if you're lucky, right?
Well, Connie.
Even Alden and Kelly, when they were running away, Alden, Kelly, and Mary. Again, the show does take a moment to remind us these things. Oh, I could kill walkers. Blah blah blah. No, you idiot.
It's hard.
It's hard, and if there's even a possibility of getting bit, that's it. It's a wrap. You're done. Mm-hmm. So some people don't want to take the chance, and most people don't want to take the chance. No. But yeah. So, I'm of a similar mind. I think I want there to be. I think there's this really weird thing where even some carolers, that's Caryl, Carol and Darylers, will even say, "Oh God, let this guy get something. Let this guy get something." Even though I saw a couple of them being like, "Yes, just go to him," aka Daryl. Like when Carol's talking to Eugene, "Take your own advice, Carol. Go to Daryl."
Oh,
guys, come on.
Come on.
Can we just grab the rope? Can we get tethered to reality here? And again, I don't begrudge, but I just thought that was a bit of a reach. Anyway, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to Alden, Kelly, and Mary. So that whole scene, when I was watching the live tweet of this episode, everybody was dissing on Alden. Mostly everybody.
Yeah.
And like, come on, Alden, don't get off your cross. And I'm like, did you not watch our episode last week?
I know, right?
Alden ain't wrong. I mean, he's not right, but he ain't wrong.
Right. The only thing I thought was, look, at this point, the kid's screaming. He's going to attract walkers. And just try anything at this point.
Right.
Like, you need to silence the baby.
As I said to Tiffy, by the way, shout out to her. She's not even here. But I said, silence the whimperers.
Yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
Exactly. So, I mean, all reason aside, was it the right choice? Was it the wrong choice? Who cares?
It's the right choice at the time.
Crying.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Sometimes it's not about what you want. It's just about about doing the right thing that helps everybody survive. Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing.
It was too late at that point anyway, because they were already there. They had already gotten surrounded.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what's the point? Get off your cross. Yep. No, I mean, it's like you can't begrudge him. But here's the interesting thing about this scene is it's the three people that are in this scene. You've got Alden, former savior. You've got Kelly, that was welcomed into Hilltop after Alexander was like, no. And you've got Mary, the ultimate, like, I killed my sister. Like, and you have all these three people who are part of these different things that were kind of iffy, but that's my point, is that this is what Hilltop represents. Hilltop represents taking people in, taking a chance on them. Mm-hmm. And that's like from Rick Grimes all the way down the line. Right? Isn't that something beautiful?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like these three people find themselves in a scene. So I just thought that was very interesting to point out.
Yeah. I mean, they could have put two other people, but they chose one.
I'm sure they could. But there's only so much room in a scene, right?
Right.
Like Jerry. No, Jerry was awesome all the way through. Jerry did nothing wrong. But
Jerry always does everything right.
Yeah.
Jerry does no wrong.
Yeah, Jerry does no wrong. Hashtag. Right. But in other news, that neck wound though, Kelly. What up with that?
What was that all about?
I think it's just burns, to be honest.
Okay. It looked bloody, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a cut?
Okay,
I'm going to say a cut.
you and me both are like, please don't let it be a bite. Please don't let it be a bite. Please
Don't
don't
be
let
a
it be a bite. Like, but I'm doing this thing. No, idiot. You don't know anything right now, so stop jumping to conclusions. But it's Kelly. It's Kelly, damn it. So I'm trying not to. I'm really trying not to.
Well, we didn't see who put the bandage on. I mean, did she bandage herself? Did somebody else put it on? Because if somebody else put it on and it was a bite mark, they're not just going to send her off with a baby.
Damn you. Because it totally looks like she did that herself.
It kind of does.
Think about it. It looks so shoddy.
I know.
It looks so bad.
It's not a bite.
Looks like a toddler did it.
She just got like cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut.
That's what I think too. Yeah. Okay. Well, in other stupid news, because I don't want to think about this anymore.
Yeah. Next.
Now, what's interesting is that I don't know how you got this, but I think you were the one who figured out Mary's name way beforehand, like when the episode aired.
Her sister's name, yeah.
Earlier on in the season, 1002, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was Frances, right?
Correct.
I don't know how.
I can tell you how.
How did you find out?
I watched TV with captions on, and when she spoke, it said Frances.
Oh,
words.
Frances, words. Blah, blah, blah. Frances crazy talk.
Frances says, blah, blah, blah.
That's so funny. I think you even said it on the episode. I just totally forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the episode was, and I actually wrote it down because it's going to come back to bite us in the ass. Actually, it's right there. 902. 902? Was it
902?
Was it 1002? 1002.
1002.
Yeah, we are the end of the world.
Yes.
And the reason why I brought that up because I thought it was like last year for some reason because I kept looking for these parallels between like last year, this year kind of thing.
Oh, see, yeah.
What's interesting, yeah, it's only 10 episodes ago. This season.
This was the first time she says her sister's name out loud, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this is the first time ostensibly when we hear her name, technically. Mm-hmm. Until the captions ruin it. But still, yeah, we really didn't know what it was. But what's interesting about... So there's a lot of interesting things about bringing up Frances. Both Gamma and Frances have this weird, freaky hearing. And that's why Beta brought them to this mission in We Are the End of the World, which is basically the Alpha Beta backstory, sort of how they got together, how they became who they were. But Beta brings the two sisters because they have this weird, freaky hearing. And Mary, when they're sitting down, hears the whispers, seems to be able to hear the whispers from very far away. I didn't pick up on that until I actually rewatched that scene with her sister, where she can hear them in the buildings. Mm-hmm. They like superhuman hearing.
Yeah.
And like, it brings me back to like when Mary was saying like, I was pretty ordinary. And I'm like, you fucking have superpowers, man. What the fuck's up with that?
You're not ordinary.
Yeah. You're extraordinary. You and your sister. But like, but this kind of actually leads me to another parallel, which is really interesting from that episode into this episode. So Mary does this self-sacrifice thing, and like by killing the walkers outside the van, putting Alden, Kelly, and the baby in the van, and she's having this moment where it's like she's looking up at the sky and she's looking at the light, the sunlight between the tree branches, and it brings me right back to that scene where Frances is looking up and she says, "The sun feels differently today. Can you feel that, sister?
Burning my skin."
Like it's burning right into our skin."
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And
I thought the same thing.
You thought the same thing?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. I had to go back though to get the exact words right because it's such a beautiful nod to her sister, like down to the hearing. Because I don't know if Gamma had that same hearing, but the fact that she had it here could mean one of two things. Either they both are gifted with hearing, which is the odds of that are very low, or like,
well, they were sisters. I mean, that would raise the odds.
Right. It would raise the odds, but how often is it that you have the same exact talents as your siblings? It's not often.
Not unless it was some genetic quirk.
Mm.
Everybody in their family has
Unblocked eardrums.
Exceptional hearing.
But I was just thinking, wouldn't it be beautiful if Frances inhabits her? I know this is very woo-woo, but wouldn't it be funny, like, that Frances was with her in this moment, holding the baby, protecting everybody instead of throwing them at walkers, you know, and saving herself. And then doing the right thing in the right moment, looking up and then saying, I know what you're talking about now, Frances. Like, I'm feeling the sun and it feels good. It doesn't feel like it's burning into my skin. It feels right. And then just when things start to feel right.
Yep.
Brownie McStabby 2 knives.
Right.
Stabby McStab knives.
I totally called that scene too. I called it right. Yep. As soon as she knelt down, actually Eric, she got down on her knees and she went, Eric went, dead. And I went, here comes Beta.
Did you miss me?
Yep. And I went, called it.
and what was so interesting about that scene, somebody actually yelled out and said, well, and I'm not sure if, because does Aaron survive the encounter with Beta in the comic? He does, right?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody said that, like, oh, that was supposed to be for Aaron or something, and I wasn't sure if Aaron dies or something like that. So regardless, I thought I saw that one frame in the comic, and I don't know who's the one that Beta fillets, right?
They may be. We need Carol here for this.
We'll catch you in the next episode on that one.
Yes, yes.
Because that's why I wanted her here.
Back to that.
What if Carol just pops on randomly right now? Oh,
right?
I'd be so happy. That would be like so. Like, did somebody call my name?
Yeah. If they're thinking of the comic book scene, I'm also thinking of. It wasn't Aaron.
Right. It was Gabriel. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing. When he did that to Mary, that's what I instantly thought, because I was thinking in my head, she should have whispered. That's all I was thinking.
Oh man.
Right? But I don't know I didn't know. I just saw the one frame. So I don't really know the scene so much. But
I thought, well, actually, when that happens and he's talking to Mary, I thought that they named the episode after her. That was my only thought.
There's the repeating theme. You will walk with us. Yeah. Yeah, powerful. And yeah, like Thor, what an amazing job. Like, just fighting him off, just doing her best. Like, and then, but here's the thing, it's the contrast of her doing her best, not really being able to do anything, but then, like, all of a sudden just grabbing that one thing that she can grab, yanking it off and yanking off half his face. And that the effect of that just drives the knife up further up into her abdomen slash scapula slash rest of her body. But then the contrast to that, by the way, is him with his big ass Beta hands slash Ryan Hurst hands, because it's still Ryan Hurst.
They're his hands.
He literally palms her head as he's putting her against the tree, like it was a one-handed, like he palmed her head. And I was just so free. I wasn't going to bring this up either, too, but I was just thinking about this scene. Wow. I mean, you thought they weren't utilizing Ryan Hurst enough.
Right.
He's pretty naturally talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes. He's naturally gifted.
Oh man, the way now that you are so focused on the way that he palmed her face, it because Beta in the comic books was a famous basketball player.
Right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And he swooshed and the one-handed layup and nothing but tree. But it was gentle, like, though,
he was
a little,
setting
right?
like he palmed a basketball and just set a ball right there.
It was semi-gingerly, right? It was like he was kind of like...
It's like he cared more for her now that she was dead and going to be a guardian than he ever did when she was alive.
Okay, so now we have to do a mental health check. How are you feeling about Beta now?
Beta met the wrong people first, and we just need to We just need to reprogram him.
Let's take that even one step further. Aren't you glad he met the wrong people first? Because I think there would be kind of trouble for our group if they had met him first.
Well, under the circumstances, it could, yeah.
Right?
You're probably right. Our group would have killed him.
Yeah, our group would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have.
Oh boy.
Unless, I don't know. If anyone could have brought him around, maybe Daryl. If Daryl had met him first.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
But first when? Because he hasn't been this new Daryl for long, you know?
Too. That's true too. Like Daryl now can't meet Beta 7 years ago.
Or 5 and 5.
Yeah, exactly. 5 years ago, Daryl is not the same Daryl. Yeah, well, maybe everything had to happen this way so that we didn't kill Beta and we can just reprogram him.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that, because it was good
point.
that the wrong people found him first so they could fuck him up, and then we can go, here's some healing magic.
Oh, you poor thing. That's right.
Sorry,
right.
I'm just feeding you false hope right now. That's just wrong. It's just wrong.
I know how wrong I am. It's okay.
I know how wrong I am for feeding that part of it.
Just let me have this.
We're not wrong, but we're also not right.
No.
So.
But I'm not delusional. I know it'll never happen, but I'm going to talk like it can.
Yeah, because that's how we do around here.
That's what we do. We never lose hope.
Right. Okay, so never lose hope. So the takeaway from the scene is, though, with half of his face ripped off, Walker Mary rises, and it looks as though she's going for him until Alden takes her down.
It does.
Right? And,
it does.
And I think Beta's acutely aware of his predicament right now. Like, first of all, he kills the Whisper nearby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That recognizes him. And so that's a problem already. Like, if people are if from his group, it's like walkers and people alike now recognize him for who he was.
Which is weird, right? Like, his face was still pretty dirty under there. Like, so this much of your face is missing, and all of a sudden you're recognizable.
This is
okay.
And this is the part I think Chris would have a problem with. See, anytime we have a problem, we'll be like, and in this week's segment of Chris Hates Everything, even though he's not here.
Right.
Because then we could just blame it on him, right? And this is not us, this is Chris. We got we got a fax. We got a fax from Chris. Fax is from the apocalypse.
From
right. It's a telegraph, people. This is bullshit. Stop.
Stop.
I mean, seriously, stop. We're reading the tape. Yeah. See, what's so really fucked up about us doing this right now? People don't know what we're talking about. People don't know what we're talking about. This is telegraph tape. What's telegraph tape?
Yeah.
My God, you people.
Okay.
Just because we're 40 plus.
Does anybody know? Okay, no. I can definitely beat Chris in that scene, though. Like, really, I mean, now that you say that, it definitely looked like she was heading towards him.
Right. Right.
I was more focused on the fact that Alden mercied her. Right. Basically, is how I looked at it.
Which, by the way, made me think of Alexandria's I don't know why, but Alexandria's slogan, "Mercy for the Lost."
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
Even though he's part of Hilltop, but whatever.
Who isn't it Z Nation that calls it Mercy?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, look at that. But they took a lot of things from The Walking Dead, didn't they?
They sure did. But I really thought that was a really nice moment, and I said it out loud even, like, that was really, really nice of Alden to do. Like, that was really nice of him to do. or and this is by the way, another criticism from Twitter. Like, oh man, you should have killed Beta. Like, it could be that he was trying to hit Beta. Might be that maybe
he was
just missed,
and he just kind of missed. You know, maybe.
I mean, man, why even bring that up? Now I'm mad again. Now I'm mad. Why didn't he shoot Beta?
Hold on, I'm getting a
Mary was already dead.
Hold on, I'm getting a telegraph from Chris. Yeah, I know, right? Stop. This is bullshit. Stop. I mean, come on, Alden, stop.
He's right there.
It's Chris.
Shoot him in the back of the head. Mary's already dead. Shoot Beta.
By the way, your husband's saying Beta and Daryl could have been the TWD Bash brothers, like from Mighty Ducks.
That's right. Yes.
Or wait, what was that movie with Paul Newman? Like the two brothers, I think it was the two brothers in that movie. It was a hockey movie, and I can't remember what it was called now.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway,
Don't know that one.
Eric, help me out here. This is Eric
Hockey
Burt,
movie
people.
with Tom Newman. Oh,
Paul
he can't
Newman.
hear me. Paul Newman. He's got his headphones on too. He can't hear me.
I'm trying to listen to the Squawking Dead episode, Rachel.
Right. I would have to talk to my husband through this screen, even though he's right here in the same room.
And there's a lag too, which is even funnier.
Oh, now he's looking.
See? He should have bought us.
I didn't pay for the coffee, so I can't.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I'm lagged because I didn't pay for the coffee.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rachel, you could just send it to him.
Could I? I can't.
I mean, you have it in Slack. You just send it to him.
I don't know. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to
Look who
send
you're
links.
Look who you're talking
I know.
to.
I'm sorry.
Send a link.
Oh wait,
That's
we gotta
like-
get back on.
Sounds
Everybody,
like a foreign language.
now we have to like put the whole show on hold while we get back on Instagram.
Oh boy.
You know, and we lost the chat a long time ago, so let me try to get that back again. Yeah, no, I no wonder I couldn't hear anybody. I couldn't see anybody's chats. Well, we're still streaming on YouTube.
That's good.
I don't know why we keep losing chats. I don't have any backup applications open.
If I show Eric the link to get to the thing, he'll know how to do it.
Is he He is technically savvy.
Yes, very.
Oh, by the Chris is on
Yes!
He's on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm so glad. Okay, hold on.
Did we nail it? Everything he wanted to say, I'm sure.
Okay, we're back on IG now.
All right. Hello, Instagram.
Hello, Instagram.
Hello.
It is me, your friend David.
Hello.
Chapeau. Well, I'm glad you're here on YouTube, by the way, or Facebook, because Chris, you were there. So sorry I couldn't see you guys in the chat on Instagram. I'd lost it a while ago. The last thing I saw was that's the theory thanks to Fear TWD, which is Ryan Hurst, right? So anyway, we're back. Oh, Chris missed the whole conversation. Chris, anytime we have a criticism with the show, we just blame it on you. We say we get a telefax from you saying that's bullshit. Stop. I mean, come on, seriously, guys, stop. Alden should have killed Beta in that moment. Stop. I mean, why waste your arrow on Mary? Stop. Hashtag Chris hates everything. Stop.
Chris hates everything. I love it.
Awesome. I love how we can deflect.
All right. Where does that put us?
That puts us right where Yumiko, Magna, Carol, and Eugene. We went through some of those already. By the way, Chris is laughing his face off. So, okay, Eugene coddling the remains of the radio, but with like a crazy person.
A little bit.
There's a part of me that says, do you blame him? But then there's a part of me that's like,
No.
You have this one chance now of finding. I don't know.
Well, I was glad that they set that date to meet before that happened. I mean, at least he has that to look forward. He doesn't have the radio, but stick to that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he talked to Carol about all that. Like you said, she might have been the only person to push him to go meet her.
Right. And I guess that really does show his emotional growth. Like, I can't go meet this person. I know I'm bringing that up again. I can't meet this person now, blah, blah, blah. Meaning that the part of him that's like wants to keep things safe and wants to keep things like legit and real. I need this radio because I obviously can't go. His first thought is I can't go, obviously. So there is like a level-headedness to his, like, he's not putting all his eggs in the Stephanie basket is all I'm saying. So, which is cool, right? Because it's like, isn't there a part of you that thinks that like, oh my God, he's so lovesick over Stephanie, he's throwing reason out the window, right?
Well, yeah, we kind of see that when he's on the battlefield and runs to go save the burning radio.
Right. But then also there's like that underlying thing of like, I'm saving the radio because obviously I can't leave. I can't leave to see her now that we're all dead and scattered and all that. So yeah. This
also had a very end of season 4, beginning of season 5 feel to it. Like everybody separated in the woods, doing their own thing.
Yeah, like on the road to Terminus sort of thing, right? Or
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
But I did want to, speaking of that, so that's actually really good what you said, because right before Yumiko pops her, she's like, we go through shit to go through shit, and then pop, right? Now, that had to have been said on the show before.
I've heard that line before. I swear I have. I feel like Rick said it at some point.
Yeah.
But I know I've heard that line before.
Or
yeah.
like maybe even Maggie. I'm
Maybe.
not sure. But and people correct us if we're wrong. We're alive, so you can just no, you're wrong, Dave. You're wrong. It wasn't either of them. It was Morgan. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, or better yet, tell us who it is and what episode it was from. I know I've heard that line before. Yeah.
By the way, Chris says I'd beat his ass for leaving everyone during a pivotal moment. That's Eugene. Huh. Which is, but by the way, that's Eugene would also beat his own ass. That's the point. And so he goes to the exact wrong person for advice about this thing.
Yeah.
Like God put him in the right place.
Well, almost like he knew Carol would give him permission.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he knew. I think he was a little out of his mind, but I think it's just like you go to the person that's there.
Yeah.
And then you get what you get. We go through shit just to go through shit. But like there is an irony of when Carol says we go through shit to go through shit, and then she gets socked in the face. And by the way, when she got socked in the face in the live watch, and I feel like I should cut this in somewhere, I audibly laughed so hard. I laughed so hard because there's something about, you have to understand, I like Carol. I like her a lot, and I'm so mad at her because she's getting people killed. And there's this weird release for the audience, like when she gets somebody like shut the fuck up and just knocks her one. You know what I mean? So it's just such a release. There's like an audible like, okay, I can feel better now, like a little bit. Somebody gave her some sort of punishment for all the shit she gave to everybody, and it was the right person too.
I was immediately defensive and I screamed, F you, Yumiko.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
There wasn't that little part of you that's just like, oh, okay, she had that coming. Yes.
I mean, maybe a few minutes later, but my initial reaction was to defend my queen. Yeah.
Yeah, AJ saying I loved it.
Did she deserve it? Probably. Yeah.
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 By the way, Carol, Chris is comparing Eugene leaving to like a Shaneism, I think. And Chris is like, Carol ate that punch. She was like, please, may I have some more?
Right.
It's Chris.
Well, I mean, again, think about who Carol is. Think about her history. Like when she does something wrong, that would be what she would expect, right?
Yes.
I mean, I almost think she did want to take the punch from Yumiko.
Maybe she egged her on a little.
Maybe.
But I think she was being real with her. Like there's this, which is even more worrying.
Maybe a little bit of both.
It goes a little bit back to what I said about that scene with Ezekiel in the last episode. There is like, she is not alive in a weird way. Like, as long as I am around, I'll have sex with you. Maybe that'll make you feel better. And as long as I'm around, I will egg you on a little bit to like make you feel better. And then as long as I'm around, I'll get Alpha's head, and maybe I can be alive after that. But then that goes to what Negan, and I'll touch on it briefly because I don't want to go into it too much, but it goes to what Negan says to Alpha about, after my wife died, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
And so you compare these two things, and it's like, is it a good thing that Alpha doesn't? It's Alpha. Whoa. That Carol doesn't feel nothing. I don't know. Because there's so many things swirling around this episode. You get Judith and the idea of, this is what we're fighting for. This is, who you're fighting for. Do we know what Carol's fighting for? Do we know what Negan is? We know what Negan was fighting for, but was it really to save people? After a while, was it really to save people?
When he was with the Saviors?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's what he convinced himself, but I'm not so sure it was true by the end.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And so, and so in terms of Carol, like, what what is this about? And maybe Alpha as well. Like, I think maybe she had an idea of how we should live. But did it get away from her? Did Carol's thing get away from her? Did Negan's thing get away from him? I think they all these things get away from people, and then you lose. Oh, wait, we're doing another Morganism. We did, I know I ain't wrong, but I ain't right. And now I lose people, I lose myself, or like that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I lose my wife, I lose myself. I lose Henry, I lose myself. I lose, which, by the way, like,
Lydia.
I lose Lydia, I lose myself. Wow. We're getting echoes of Morgan all over this. It's just the stink of Morgan that I love. That's why he's my favorite character.
It's like he'd never left The Walking Dead.
Morgan is hipster tragedy. It's like Morgan did it first. But by the way, so no, I referred to it wrong, by the way. Chris says we go through shit to go through shit. He said that phrase is a Shaneism. It sounds like a Shaneism.
Oh, okay.
Holy fuck, to go that far back or that
Maybe
far.
Shane did say that.
Holy shit. Which is furthers the point of like how far Carol has gone into the shit. Like the first thing that everybody kind of figured out was like, you have to know who you're fighting for. And maybe Shane was just fighting for Lori and Carl.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think he made that pretty clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it came down to everybody else or Lori and Carl, he would have wasted everyone
to
save them. Yeah.
Which is at least something, by the way. Carol, I don't know what you're doing. Who are you doing it for? I mean, maybe there's this like, oh, I'm doing it for everybody. But no, I don't. I mean, yes, but no. Not if you're doing it for everybody. You're doing kind of what Negan did too. You're hanging people from rafters. You're leaving Aaron and Luke to get killed by walkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love picking all this up because everybody's doing kind of the same thing, and it's just so cool to kind of see that everybody's just like Morgan.
Yep. Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, yep. Everybody goes through shit. They deal with it in a different way, but the message is the same.
Yeah. The message is sort of, which is kind of strange since we've gotten so like years into the like literally 10 years into the apocalypse. You know, so. I guess it never really leaves you. We go through shit to go through shit, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah, but I was even saying like Daryl, Michonne, even oh gosh. But Carol is Morgan, Daryl, Michonne, and even Rick before they found Alexandria. Yeah, all these people like Carol is in that state. Fight not break up. Eugene cherry cheesecake.
That was funny.
Oh, Eugene spent so much time trying to be useful to our gang or pursue Rosita only to piss everyone off. Do you remember when Carol was saying that? I did all this to try to take Alpha out, and I didn't even get that. And I ended up pissing everybody else off. And Eugene, there is this weird parallel between her and Eugene. Like where Eugene was trying to be useful or helpful in some way and just ended up pissing everybody off. Or like he was pursuing Rosita this whole time and he didn't have anything to show for it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you need to know. And then the lesson that Carol should learn from the situation is you need to know when to let it go. Like Eugene did of Rosita. So.
Yeah, well, Eugene didn't let that go till he had something better, though.
Yeah. Typical, man.
So maybe Carol just needs something better.
Like Daryl.
I wasn't going to say it.
By the way, Lonnie's saying the same thing. Shane definitely lost himself too. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Alpha.
Oh, yeah. Look at him in the CDC.
Oh,
yeah, he lost himself. Yeah.
Well, look at you. Do you forget sometimes you're bald? No, I'm kidding.
I do.
Right? I wouldn't blame you. I do. I do too. Anyways. Yeah. Oh, and Nisa's saying Shane actually said that, by the way. Yeah.
He did. Okay, so that was a Shane quote.
We had some confirmation.
Awesome.
Let's see what else. Carol finds Lydia's stick just after that scene.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The thing that really bugs me about that is like right after this conversation with Eugene, you should have let it go. you know, I did all this and I have nothing to show for it. And then you see Lydia stick, and it's kind of like, is that something that informs the audience and or Carol, hopefully, because we don't know what happens after this, that maybe it was Lydia she should have been protecting all along. Maybe this is your clarion call. This is the Sophia that you could have saved. You know, that's the only thing that I was thinking of in the second watch is like, because not the first watch. The first watch I was like, that's Lydia Stick.
Right.
That's all I was thinking.
No, my brain went a totally different direction.
Oh, please.
Well, I just thought, now we kind of know where everyone is geographically. Like Lydia was here when Negan came up to her, and now we see this group in the same location.
Yeah.
So they're all relatively traveling the same direction in this relatively the same area.
Right. That was on the first watch.
My brain went.
No, that was on my first watch. That's exactly what I was saying. Oh, they're close. You could get. Yeah. Okay, she could find him. Which, by the way, that leads me to thinking like that maybe because at the end of the episode we don't know where Lydia is, but I know where Lydia is, and that was in the second watch. So there's and it's gonna be fitting that Carol finds Lydia. You know why?
Shut up.
Right?
She's not.
Lydia may be at the house where Carol stayed near the kingdom.
Stop. I'm gonna have to watch it again because that house had wrought iron gates around it.
Did it still though? Yep. There's time has passed.
That's true.
I just don't want you to call me out if I'm wrong.
Well, I still remember what the inside of that house looked like too.
Yeah,
and it had a porch with an awning. Yeah,
and it did have that, but the inside, the way they showed the inside shot with her opening the door was kind of like an upwards kind of thing. So you kind of saw the arched ceiling, but you didn't really see the inside of the house. And you know, and time could have been really cruel to it, but I want that to be true because the shack
that would be really
the shack.
But that little house was right outside the kingdom, right?
Right, exactly.
So
no. It was right outside the kingdom.
It was right outside the kingdom,
not the hilltop. I don't know why
Negan would have had to travel a really far way to put her there. Doesn't mean he
damn it
wouldn't.
God damn it. No, but that would have been
possible. I think it's still possible.
Maybe. I just don't think there's time. Right? It was still daylight by the end of all this. So
that's true.
But let's just say that it's true and that I'm a good writer.
That would be really, really cool.
I should write for Game of Thrones, you know, where the where they try to fight a dragon in.
Maybe they'd still be on TV.
No, but I don't know. Yeah, Chris is actually going to look and says, the wallpaper should look the same. Like, Chris, don't bother. We fucked up. Oh, I fucked up.
I'm gonna watch it again tomorrow, and I'm gonna pay extra close attention this time.
Anyway, so, okay. Daryl, Rosita, and Jerry finding Judith and the kids. So Nabila's burned badly. And so that was already. Didn't that like bother you? Like she's like, it's still burning. I'm like, oh shit, Beth's shit better not happen to Nabila right now.
Right.
She's trying to find her kids, yo.
That was one thing I caught on the second watch. Like the first time I could tell something was wrong, but I didn't notice her arms were burnt until I watched. Well, I only watched it the second half 2 times because then I turned the TV on and watched it live and just caught the last half hour.
Right. Oh. Yeah. And so, and like, my babies, like, and so she's getting a bit of a feature right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Nisa said the same thing at the exact same time. My babies. And, you know, that's the thing, like, but going to the babies, I just, there's something about, man, like Earl in this scene with the kids being so gentle and so kind and so fatherly. And it really made me think of the story he told to Henry, I think it was. I can't remember who it was. Like about how shitty a dad he was going to be, or maybe that he was to Ken. Like getting drunk while his mom was pregnant, you know, Tammy Rose. And then being like, and then like I'm seeing him be so kind to all these kids. Like it's like the father he wanted to be with Ken 100% fully, and to times like a million, like with all these kids. Like what a way to send that character off, right?
Well, I'm really, really upset about losing Earl. I mean, losing the characters is one thing. Yeah, that's sad. But more than that, he was our blacksmith. Like, Earl made our weapons. We need him.
I think Alden's learned a lot in 5 years. He's had to have learned a lot in
Sure,
5
but
years.
he's still only one person. Now Alden's going to have to take on an apprentice.
Well, maybe that's where Marco can finally come in.
Yay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
God's sakes, man. Where?
I know.
Like, we should do like a "Where's Marco?" Like a "Where's Waldo" thing.
Yeah. Where's Marco?
Yeah. Exactly.
Marco needs some more screen time. Get on it.
Yeah. Hashtag what about Marco?
Yeah. What about Marco?
Yeah. So yeah, okay. And so my first thought also when he goes into the other, first of all, I instantly thought, oh shit, he's been bit. Like,
yeah,
from the first second I saw him on the screen, like, oh, he don't look too good.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I went, oh shit. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and he's even saying, oh, sorry, Walani. It's Walani. Walani's saying Earl. I didn't like Earl that much, but tonight he was MVP. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Especially with his interactions with Judith.
Right. Oh my gosh, when he walked up to her right in the beginning and took the sword from. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, Jude. Come on. It's okay. Oh my gosh. Just the. Okay, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but yeah, that was just beautiful.
Which is also interesting because he being there when the first guy died and then he being the guy that dies later. Mm-hmm. There's something.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good way to learn that lesson, too. That we talked about in the beginning of the episode with, like, these aren't just walkers. They were people. Yeah. Anyway, so, like, going back to that, yeah, father. And then the second thought, and this is, of course, we can't do a deep and really heart-wrenching philosophical thought without following it up with a immediately ridiculous thought like,
right.
Oh, Earl, no, that railroad spike is not sharp. That is not sharp at all, Earl. You know better.
I thought he would have gotten it in his eye socket.
Yeah.
That would have worked.
He missed.
Yeah, he did. Yep. So initially you see the spike, you see his bloody hand, and you see this. And my first thought was, Judith did not take his head off of there. What the hell? And then you see the other side and the gash across his forehead. And I'm like, oh, okay, he just missed.
I mean, you see a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Where there wasn't blood before. So.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, he could have just laid it right in his eye socket and just fell.
Yeah, but could he have? Oh, like lined it up and then just fallen?
Right. Well, that's kind of what he tried to do, but he missed. I'm saying wedge the thing right in your eye and just let your body weight do the rest for you.
I don't know. I think there's a psychological thing about that, though. Like
your brain might not let you.
It's like why you can't stab yourself other than Elliott Smith. Sorry.
I was going to say who.
It's always too soon when you mention Elliott Smith stabbing himself literally in the chest.
Jeez. Or like you can't drown yourself. Like you can't physically hold yourself underwater. Your body will.
Well, you need like a weight or something.
Right. You would need something to hold you down. You can't hold yourself underwater.
See, this is why we need Chris for this conversation. It's like, Chris, come on, tell us all the ways we can survive and die. Everybody. Anyway, and call us out if we're wrong, because you know we are. So.
Yeah, these are just theories. I don't know if it would work. I've never tried, obviously.
By the way, well, Lonnie, that's the funniest response too. Like, I could never do that. I would just run off into the forest instead. Like,
right,
just saying.
But then he would come back. But then he would die, turn, and come back.
Right.
He didn't want to kill the kids.
I left my wallet back there.
Well, didn't we see other people like tie themselves to trees so that they wouldn't wander off?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh gosh, yeah.
He could have tethered himself.
I never. Okay, and again, we're tangenting, but like, I never buy it when people tie themselves to anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, can you really tie yourself to a tree? Can you really? Can you do this and then? Oh, I'm tied up now. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Well,
you gotta think about yourself just being a walker. A walker is not going to know how to untie a knot, so you're not going to have to tie your wrists. You would just have to make sure you're not going to get away from the tree. You could even you could loop it around the tree and tie it around your ankle.
All right, but
just so you can't walk away.
Where there's a walker, there's a way. I don't know. Exactly. I mean, they pull off their own leg though. Eventually, that's
eventually.
Yeah. Then again, who knows? But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Blunt, but let me just see. And one important factoid, and I could be wrong about this one too, but I think I'm more on the 100% right on this one. The house that Earl takes Judith and the kids has got to be the same house. And again, this goes back to season 9. It's got to be the same house that Gage, Rodney, and Addie take Henry to when they're hanging out via the secret passageway.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Right.
That would make a lot of sense.
You look
Is this also the same house that Henry takes Lydia to later?
Yes.
Okay.
To stash her away from her mother. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, and that has more sense when it comes to looking back exactly last year. Because that's, they decide to get, was it Enid comes up to, rip Enid.
Yeah.
Comes up to Henry and goes, yeah, I'm sorry, dude, but this is the only way. And Lydia has run off already, basically. Right. Yeah. Because you see the posters on the wall, like they're all from when they were hanging out and stuff like that. So, and like I think there was like the stained glass and there's like all these cool hip blankets and stuff like that. I don't know. It's got to be their place. So
it was sectioned off like somebody had was hanging out.
Just hanging out, making out in the back. That's where the kids are now.
Drinking our moonshine.
Yeah. I want moonshine. No, I don't. I'm acid reflux or something. I don't know. Okay. We got that one down. Okay, now we get to Negan and Alpha. And which is basically, I'm so glad because
Gonna make it?
I have SARS. Okay. How unfashionable of me to have SARS right now. It's like I can't do dying right. I have to die from black lung or something.
Oh my god.
Like a coal miner. And I don't mind coal. I'm like the exact opposite. I data mine. Ugh. Anyway, nobody dies from that. They'll die from dysentery. Anyway, so we're almost kind of done, which is great for us because that's less editing for me. Right. So Negan Alpha. Okay, we're gonna get into this conversation now, and like I said, that Walker in the distance is like this weird Greg Nicotero callback to Night of the Living Dead, callback to the beginning of the series. Like, who is your enemy really? Who do we want to be really?
Yeah.
But we get into the meat of the conversation, and one of the main things I wanted to take away is Negan corrects Alpha on who the Alpha is in a Lion's pack. He says the lioness he pretty much says the lioness is the actual Alpha, right? Not the lion,
right?
And then. And by the way, I thought of this interesting scenario where what if, because it almost seems like as if Alpha is saying Negan should lead like a different pack.
And
roam around and preach the gospel.
This was specifically what I was excited to get into with you, because that is what I sort of took away from it as well. Kind of how he had savior outposts. She wants whisper outposts,
right? Like Omega packs, actually.
Yeah. Which what was episode 912 called?
Omega.
Well,
no, 912 was it Omega?
Yes. 911 was Bounty.
Oh, I should have. You're right. I should have gotten the title. Damn, son. Look who schooled the schooler. What? Yeah. But and then AJ rightly points out, yeah, that was Gamma. She was the Omega. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and that was what was a little confusing because they were saying a lot of things that were kind of going over each other's heads in a way. I mean, on the one hand, they kind of connect, but they kind of don't. They're kind of Negan's trying. I don't know if they're even noticing that what they're trying to tell each other. Negan's almost imploring her. Like, A, you're wrong. The lioness leads the pack, so what are you doing? So what am I doing leading a pack? Beta wouldn't make a good alpha. So what are you trying to say? Which I try to make an Occam's razor about this whole conversation. It's that Negan's basically trying to say that Alpha's been wrong about first of all, what animals are, because you've got this weird idea of what animals really are. They aren't. I know some animals eat their young, like hyenas and stuff, but like most do not. You know,
Right.
they aren't emotionless. They have some semblance of a natural instinct to care for their young. Most animals,
Unless they were injured. I could see an animal leaving an injured baby behind if they needed to get away in a hurry, but it wouldn't be the animal's first choice either.
right? And again, it depends on the animal, but most do not.
Yes, most yes.
Yeah,
In general.
yeah. In general, the overwhelming majority, right? And so,
Right.
like, why do you think? It's like, why do you think that is? Like, why do you think you need to do this to be something else? Oh, it's her destiny. I have to eat her or whatever. But and then again, like Negan could hit her again. It's like animals don't have destiny. They just have
Right.
instinct. You're wrong about what you think animals are. When did this get away from you, Negan? I mean, Alpha. I mean, everybody.
Right.
When did this get away
So-
from you?
There another confusing part for me, and this maybe it was just me.
Yeah.
When we could even go back to when Alpha says, I'm not happy unless I have everything I want. And she was referring to Lydia, right?
Right.
But right then, what exactly did she mean? She ultimately wants Lydia to walk with them, correct?
As a guardian.
Or am I wrong? Okay.
As a guardian, I think that's what I
At
think.
that point, okay, see,
But she
when they
has
were
to be the
still
one
on
to do it.
Alpha has to make Lydia the guardian.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. But when they were on the battlefield still, and then even more the interaction between Lydia and Gamma. And she said, you can't go out there. You know what Alpha wants. I still was under the impression that Alpha wants Lydia to take over. And it wasn't until this conversation between
Right.
Alpha and Negan that I finally went, oh, she's going to kill her.
Yeah.
And so I don't know at what point throughout the episode I was supposed to know that Alpha wanted to kill Lydia, not, I don't know, beat her into submission,
Which is
force her
fair.
to join.
Which is fair. It's a fair thing that you're saying.
Okay,
But
good.
no, it's totally fair. Negan knows, first of all. So, but as we broke down the episode, where just like the one where Daryl fights Alpha,
Yeah.
and I'm like stronger now, and we interpreted that as the tether between Lydia and I is gone, the motherly
Okay.
tether.
All right.
Remember that's at least what I said is like.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Although what I did say though at the end was that like it really wasn't gone, and I'm not wrong, because as Negan is saying this, it's almost as if they're trading verbal, emotional punches. Like they're having a fight, this weird melding of the minds, kind of like like cerebral fight instead of like a fist fight that Negan and Alpha are having. They're having this emotional punch fight. This like. Like those knockdown fights where you go punch for punch? They're kind of doing that intellectually, like ideologically.
Yeah, but with words.
Yeah. But with ideas, like emotional, just like right hooks, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Negan says, you still love her. Like, so how can you be this way? And she goes, it's her destiny. But you see her getting emotional. It really affects her. And I love how... Like, I don't really want to even focus on Negan too much right now, but like on Alpha, it's just kind of like everything you're saying. When did this get away from you? And then eventually my brain is like, oh my gosh, she's like Carol. Like she's a dog with a bone, man. It's like she cannot stop. There is nothing that's going to stop her. This is what I must do. I must do it. Who are you doing this for, though? You're not doing it for the Whisperers. You're not doing it for your ideology. You're definitely not doing it for Negan, because Negan is apparently not happy with it. She's not even doing it for Beta. Beta's not happy with this. He's confused by this.
No.
When Beta is more Whisperer than Alpha is. When everybody's more Whisperer than Alpha is.
Yeah.
Like everybody sees it but you. Your shit still stinks, Alpha. That's the thing. And I get so messed up about this, but yeah. And so like Negan, by the way, yeah, and Chris is saying it right. Like Negan equals Omega is greater than Alpha. When the Omega becomes greater than the Alpha. Which I had this small brief, and like not to disrupt this conversation for a second, but like I had this brief like thought about how maybe that's true, and maybe because I had the initial thought of like maybe Negan does break off and form another pack, but wouldn't it be cool if Lydia was the Alpha and Negan was the Beta? Like I would find that acceptable.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't end up being that way. It ends up being that Alpha wants to kill Lydia and make her a guardian.
Right.
But did he want to make her Negan's guardian? I don't know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I was confused because it took me a long time to realize that she didn't want her back to force her to join her. Like she was gonna kill her until Negan said it out loud. Like, you were willing to kill your own flesh and blood, and I'm like, whoa. When did she say that? What did I miss?
Yeah, you're watching a fight between juggernauts right now. It's like they're like mind melding each other like crazy right now. See, I was gonna mention this too, but Chris was like, "Look above, Carol plus Negan equals power couple."
Carol and Negan. I don't hate it.
Yeah, but there's that one thing in the back of your mind. It's like, but I've been fighting so much for Daryl and Carol. I missed the whole point. I missed this whole power couple.
No. Yeah.
And Lydia raised by them. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe though. I don't think so.
He's still Negan. He's still Negan. I don't know.
Yeah, Negan be Neganing.
Negan be Negan.
Everybody's like, no. Like, wait, actually, hold on. Well, Lottie says maybe. No. That's funny.
Too funny.
Okay, so I don't know. That dialogue does deserve its own episode, to be honest. I feel like it needs an hour to dissect word by word.
Just between those two, yeah. I did really appreciate the parallels to the comic book in those scenes too. You know, the story about his wife was true. The fact that he was more attracted to her when she was bald, like he mentioned that in the comics too. And just that, yeah, from that point to, you know, it was just very reminiscent of the comics. And I'm really happy how it went down. I always said right from the beginning, if it wasn't going to be Carol, it should be Negan.
Yeah. I never, you know what? All the way from the beginning when we were making predictions, ever since the Whisperers came into the picture, I had a fleeting thought that it might have been Carol, but then I immediately said, no. Mm-hmm. No, especially if in the back of my mind they were going to kill off Henry. There's a part of me that's like, it can't be her. Because everybody's going to say it's her. And so, of course, it can't be her.
Right.
B,
because that's what we want.
But B, what does it mean for the character to get what she wants afterwards? What happens after that? And I always said that. I always said, what would it mean if Carol was the one to kill Alpha? And I think it would send her over to a dark place. And so, I mean, she doesn't get what she wants. She doesn't actually do the killing. But so there is some sort of satisfaction there. But if she would have done it, I mean, she would have been fine. Like in the process of her trying to go after her. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I loved it too. I don't know if I said it out loud on the show or in real life, but that was exactly how I wanted everything to happen. If Negan killed Alpha, I wanted her head in a bag and I wanted him to toss it to Carol, just like he did to Rick in the comics. And it happened. And I was well, you saw me.
Yeah, I saw you. And that was your second watch. Or was it your second watch?
That was the second time I saw it.
I did the same. I did, yes. I did like the Rick thing. Andy Lincoln or something.
Right. Yes, that gif of him doing it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I just started screaming, F yes! F yes!
Yeah. You're like that kid in the football game.
Yeah, pretty much. I was that baby from the football game.
You're basically like you when we shouted out Lance's appearance last week, who, by the way, is in the chat right now.
I did freak out last week.
Lance and Millie the Jug.
Yeah. Are they here? Hi, guys.
Yeah, there they are.
We're live.
We're live. We're here. Say hi. But yeah, so yeah. And that was just, there's something, okay, if Negan gets to kill Glenn a la comic book canon and we can't get out of that, then of course Alpha, he gets to kill Alpha in true form, right? Yeah. But yeah.
I'm really upset about one thing.
Okay.
Really upset.
Okay, yeah, please.
I wanted to see Negan take her head off.
Okay. This This is a family show. No, it's not. It's not.
It's really not.
But just like
No.
you can't kill babies in this show,
Right.
and they
I mean-
do get killed in the comic.
Right?
Like,
Oh,
brutally.
there are no rules in the comic book.
Oh
no
my
rule.
God. There's no
No
boundaries.
Rules.
Are there
no
though?
boundaries.
No, there's no boundaries. There's no fucks. Zero.
Absolutely not. No, the comic books are not for kids. Not for anyone even faint-hearted. No.
Oh, okay. Chris hates everything one more time because we can get into this because we're talking about it. Negan slashing Alpha's neck, strengthening my argument that Rick slashing Negan's neck in the real world, Negan would have died.
Would have died. Yeah.
I don't think
Now,
Negan's. Go ahead.
Well, is it safe to say, and Chris, listen up. Is it safe to say that Negan's cut was deeper?
Yes.
Because it seemed bigger, and it seemed like there was more gushing from Alpha.
Yes.
When Negan got sliced, it seemed like a little nick over here, and when he did this, we saw just a little bit of trickle, but it did seem like he was able to hold it off.
Yeah, it was just like
Is
left of
anything-
center or something.
Right? Is anything I'm saying possible?
I'm with you. I'm like,
Just
here we are. Anyways, like, regardless of what I mean, like, look, if Nick, I don't know who was directing that last episode, but if somebody in VFX and KMB was like, yeah, let's put a little stank on this Negan slash, like, like,
Yeah.
oh, he's still alive. No, but it was a slightly extra bit of gushing blood, but like,
Yeah.
Chris is like, yeah, sure, anything's possible. Oh, you're killing me, man. I love you so much. Anyway, so
Yeah, that was a good clean gash.
but it is a cool callback though. There is something about that callback because there's a lot going on in that last scene in the end of season 8 where it's like Rick's speech, like right after he slashes Negan's neck, is like, you are not our enemy. We all need to recognize that out there, the herd out there, and then the herd turns out to probably be like Alpha's hordes and guardians and stuff like that, which is a
Probably,
cool
yeah.
foreshadowing. And then it takes you right back to the scene where it's just kind of like, and I expected her to say Carl didn't know shit. What, bitch? What, bitch? What did you say about? What did you say, boy? What did you say, boy? Like,
Oh, my
Daryl.
goodness.
Oh God. And then that's why he cut her head off. He's like, shut the fuck up about Carl.
Don't say Carl's name.
I'm stabbing Mick 3 knives. Like, I don't know.
Do you think Negan was also thinking about Rick in that moment and what happened to him?
That's a stumpy
He
one.
he could have
Maybe.
cut her throat a lot of different ways. I mean, she had her back to him. He could have easily walked up while her back was turned and did one of these. But
Right.
he waited.
He
waited till she turned around and
I almost think that that's even more difficult, like to sneak behind somebody with a knife and not get like knocked back, or like get your arms up like this, like to protect yourself, or because if
Good
you
point.
see that arm coming for it, you can do a bunch of things, right? Or hypothetically,
True.
I don't know, like, I don't know
No, you got a
martial
good point.
arts, but like, yeah, or like stabbed, but you could stab her right in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. But and I think that
I think he wanted her brain alive though to give to Carol. Because she was chomping.
I think the
when the head
writers
rolled out of
did.
the bag. He's like, yeah.
I think the writers wanted that.
I mean, that's just a little extra sauce. on
Yeah,
it. Like,
that's
here
the
you go,
as long as
Carol.
I have the neck gash, I might as well keep going. That's the only thing I'm thinking. But like, but yeah, you're right. Maybe there is something to like, hey, I gotta shut this down quickly. I'll just do like, have you ever seen those TikToks? I think it's TikToks or like just these short videos where the guy goes like this, and the people fall in the background. It's like it's like a nod to anime. Like in the animes when the ninja or samurai just
like
goes
pulling
like this.
the sword out.
Like
Okay,
that.
gotcha.
It signals that, oh, I moved so fast that you couldn't see me slash all these people. And so
Okay,
and so all the people fall down behind them.
gotcha.
But it's the same idea. It's like if you do this one clean motion where you just go,
Yeah,
and it's a wrap.
gotcha.
So
yeah.
Yeah, something about that. Anyway. Oh, Chris is saying gonna put her head on a spike.
Oh, please do.
I don't know though. Maybe.
If it were me, wait, hold on. Where's Carol living right now? Is she at Hilltop? Is she living at Hilltop?
Honestly, that's a really good question, man.
Okay. Wherever she's living. Oh, shit. Take it back to Daryl's campsite. I don't care. Put that shit on a stick and post that up like a freaking trophy. I would.
Oh, by the way, Liza's on the chat too. Hello. What's up? It's early in the morning there, isn't it?
Oh
like
my gosh.
4 in the morning.
No kidding.
What are you doing partying all night long, party animal? I can't go out. I can't sleep. I see Squawking Dead.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. I would be displaying that like a trophy. I would go back to Woodbury and steal one of Philip's fish tanks and put that shit in there. I would display it as proudly as I can.
Chris says, she living on the boat, bitch. I wonder though. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah. That's a good question to write down. Like, okay, what happens to Carol now? I don't know if you honestly, nah, you're not thinking diabolically enough. I wouldn't want that head around me for the rest of my life. But what I would want is to put that head on a spike, put it right near like the Whisperer Castle where they would camp out, or maybe that next to that baby bird's nest, huh? And then like just where like Beta would see it, because we don't know Beta's fate, right? And Beta goes, my alpha, brr, everybody sees me now, brr. Walkers see me now, brr. The Guardians don't trust me anymore, brr. Alpha. And then he starts making out with Alpha. Blah, blah, blah,
oh,
blah.
Gross. Just her head on a stick. Oh.
First of all, he didn't get consent.
Have you in life?
Yeah, he didn't get consent. He didn't get consent. Okay? All right.
Gross.
Gross.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I just went a little nuts
word. There. I love your Beta impressions. They're the best.
Alpha. Like Igor. And yet this guy's a towering head palming monstrosity. He's not like this. He's like, oh, Beta. Like, Alpha. I'm above the screen. I'm so tall.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he is a mountain of a human being.
Oh man. Oh, so Chris says I think Negan kills Beta too, and I'm like, nah, bitch. Aaron. It's
Aaron?
It's Aaron's turn.
Really?
Yeah, somebody
well.
Yeah, somebody normal has to kill somebody normal has to kill Beta.
I think giving it to Daryl would be too easy.
Daryl, that's already no. You can't do that. I mean, you can do that again, and people probably want it, but I want Aaron. I want Aaron to do it so badly.
What if it was Father Gabriel?
Okay. Bye.
I'm okay with that.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Maybe that water tower scene plays out a whole lot differently on the show.
Yeah, ultimate sacrifice. I mean, of course, Daryl kind of makes sense, but nothing on. The thing is, you guys, it. Of course, it makes sense, but like,
yeah,
you want to not see whatever it is that's going to happen coming. So of course it's not going to be Carol that kills Alpha. Of course, Daryl's not going to fight Beta again because we did that already. Oh, what if Connie kills Beta? Well, that would be actually kind of cool, actually. By the way.
What if Judith kills Beta? She gets a second chance at it. I don't think anything's off the table. I think anyone could do it. But you know what I would rather see.
Yes, exactly. We were thinking the same thing. Like, what if nobody kills Beta?
What if nobody kills him?
And what if he's like the Alexandria's yoga instructor?
Yes. What if he is? Oh my gosh. Could you see him taking the mask off? And he's like, oh, people love me. And he's like, do stretches.
Yeah, here, pick up the two heads like this. One palm in one head, one palm on the other. Gingerly pick them up.
I love it. Yes, and he can lead Alexandrian yoga.
Now hold the stretch. Hold the stretch. Don't hold it too far. You'll snap their necks. It's like, okay.
Satnam.
Satnam. Oh, shit. I killed another two.
Damn it.
They'll walk with us. I mean, no, sorry. We'll bury them in Alexandria.
Nope. That was last week. Okay, sorry.
Right, exactly. Okay, so questions at the end of the episode. What happens to Luke and Aaron? Right? right?
So, okay, Carol makes a reference to we need to get there before dark. Is she referring to Alexandria?
We don't know. Oh,
Okay.
maybe though. Why not? I don't know.
So-
I don't
Well,
know.
I would assume everyone is on their way to the same place.
Yeah.
And I only assume that place would be Alexandria.
Right.
So I assume Luke and Aaron are also on their way. to
Although
Alexandria.
they were supposed to take the kids to Oceanside initially.
Oh.
Anything is possible. And since the next week, since the sneak peeks that we got at the end of the episode are of Michonne at Oceanside, or not Oceanside, sorry, Michonne with Virgil, there could be a chance that I don't
It
know.
would make, well, no, keep going with that, because I think it would make sense that we see Michonne and what she's been up to, and then the following week she comes back
Right.
to meet our group back at Oceanside. That
Although,
would make sense.
Yeah, although if we are going to dissect sneak peeks really quickly, it looks like there's a couple things that happened in that episode next week. Yeah, I think that's all of those scenes are from next week. We initially see Virgil, then we don't see Virgil anymore. And then it's
Yeah.
Michonne running away from two guys, Michonne killing those two guys, Michonne using those guys as her walker slaves, a la
pets.
AKA before Rick, when we first meet her, and Andrea meets her the first time. So there's some sort of reversion.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of that seems to be happening to some of our key characters. There's like a reversion, like Carol reverting back to when she was getting beaten up, in the sense, like what to expect. I expect punishment.
Yeah.
Michonne reverting back to like slave walkers, and I don't know. I can't see her breaking down in that way, but maybe she's using it as cover or something. I don't know. But the key here is that she looks different. Her head wrap makes it look as though time maybe has gone by.
Well, I also think those scenes could very well be flashbacks. Maybe she's sharing stories with Virgil.
That's possible. Could be. But then again, her in that head wrap has the Negan bat.
Oh, that's true. That's more recent. You're
And
right.
how does that happen? Right? Did she have it with her the whole time?
And is that even truly Lucille?
Right. I think it is.
I mean,
I think that's the real
I think
Lucille.
it is, but we don't know.
I think that's the real Lucille. Lucille 1.0. Well, actually, technically 2.0, and then Negan has 3.0. And Lucille...
Don't you find that extra strange, though, that she would have Lucille in that situation? Why would she take Lucille on a boat with her to follow Virgil? Why would she have that with her?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know.
Well, that's why I almost think maybe she picks one up and makes it, or these are flashbacks. This happened before.
I have an alternative.
Okay.
Michonne stashed Lucille at Oceanside.
Okay.
Like furthest away from everybody.
Makes sense.
And then she took it with her to the island somehow for some reason. Maybe that's even further away from Negan.
Maybe.
Like, for sure he won't get it from there. But then again, like, why would you even keep it around? This is
It's
the
a
thing
wooden
that's
bat. You could just burn it if you don't want him to
exactly.
have it.
That's the thing that's been bugging me this whole time. Why keep it? And maybe there is something to it. Maybe there's a narrative sense of keeping it around. So I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe that does make some sort of narrative sense.
Guess we'll have to watch to find out.
But wait, the last sneak peek is, and this ends with Michonne getting trapped in a cell.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
I
just
watched
at the
it
end.
too, and I missed it. Okay.
Just at the end, or this could be out of sequence too. So who knows?
Are there people around, or we just see her get trapped?
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, just the door closes behind her when she goes into a room, and that's it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Could be a big deal. Could be nothing.
Right. So we already mentioned where's Lydia? What happens to Beta now that he can't walk among guardians and the living without getting recognized by either?
I mean, he could just make himself a new mask.
No, I can't.
He could.
It's Beta. It's
I know.
yeah.
But he could.
That's a wrap, yo. Will we see Connie again? We both agree. Did Negan? So this is the big question, okay? And we got like 8 minutes left of this. Let's see if we can finish within 8 minutes.
I think we can.
Did
We're right
Negan
there.
have real feelings for Alpha?
Ooh. Maybe we won't finish this in 8 minutes. That's tough.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say yes, because he could see, he got her to open up emotionally. So he got to see the human part of her. So yeah, I think he did.
I think, yeah, there's a part of me that sees himself in her. I think.
Sure.
The thing that got away from him. He sees the part of himself that he fucked up.
Sure. If things had kept going the way that they were, he could have eventually turned into her, mentally speaking.
Yeah. Or maybe he got there and then she didn't have like a Carl or something to get him to kind of finally pause, you know?
It should have been Lydia, but it wasn't. Lydia did not have that effect on her the way Carl did on pretty much everybody.
Well, Lydia was her kin.
Right.
And Negan never had kin. You know, that's just a very interesting thing. I really did. I think he did have too. I think there was a part of himself that like said, if only she'd found the right people first or something. Maybe.
Right. Well, she was the person. She was the terrible person that found everybody else, though. She started that. I don't think if anybody else would have found her, it would have mattered.
Yeah.
I think she was already in that mental state.
Oh my God, I hate saying this though, because it almost takes away from the emotionality about it. But like, does Negan love himself in this scenario because he sees that part of him?
Is he attracted to
himself?
The part of Alpha that reminds him of himself.
Yeah.
Gosh, that would. He is a narcissist, right? That would make sense.
Yeah. Nisa says the closure he never got with Lucille. Yeah.
Ooh,
Nisa says that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is something to that though. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah. But like, yes, there's Negan with Lucille, original Lucille.
Wife Lucille.
And all that, and like getting a second chance, and Alpha reminding him of her. But then this is Negan's Lucille. Alpha is like Negan's Lucille now. You know what I mean? Like, this is the new Negan. Negan is not the way he was when he was with his wife. This is new Negan. Right. This is Negan after many years, 10 years in the apocalypse. Mm-hmm. So, and so he feels like he's finally met his match, but his match is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right.
And so I can only imagine what's going on in his head. Like this is it? Maybe there's nobody for me. I thought this was as good as it's going to get. And I guess I should expect nothing from here on in. And so there's an even bigger question. Do you think Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, has a role on the show anymore? Does he go the way of the comic book and exit? And is there maybe a possibility that we see him somewhere else? I'm sorry, it's a big question that I don't expect you to answer, but...
See him somewhere else on the show?
Could be a movie. Could be Fear of the Walking Dead. I don't know. Walking Dead World Beyond. It's in the same timeline, same universe.
I think if JDM dips from Walking Dead, I don't think he'll pop up on any other shows. I mean, they're really good at writing. They could make it work, but I don't see it happening. But there's definitely a way they could write him into the show. I think that Negan and Jeffrey Dean Morgan himself has a big enough fan base that, he'd be worth keeping on the show for the viewers or for the ratings, I guess.
This is like the Daryl effect.
Yeah, exactly. Can't kill him off because he has too many fans.
Well, that's the thing. Like if you can't find a real good way to utilize him, then you might as well just end the show. And that series, right?
Or that character, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 3 minutes left to the Instagram stream.
All right.
We're not going to start this thing up again. I think we're done. I don't have any more questions. Do you?
Nope. I got everything out that was in my brain.
Okay, so I'm sorry to wrap this up so quickly because we're going to lose you now on Instagram. So, folks, what a fucking episode.
Awesome.
So if you like what you heard, do us a favor. If on Facebook, on YouTube, give us a like, leave a comment if you think we've missed something and we can talk about it in the comments. I'm sure we've gotten a bunch of things wrong because we're live. There's no course correction. We can't go, hey, hold on a second, let's look that up. No, we're doing it live. if you are eventually listening to this on, or even do it now, I don't know, go to ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead and give us a rating. That really helps. 5 stars or whatever. Give us anything. And just leave an eggplant. You don't have to, don't waste your words on writing. I don't want to waste your time with writing words. Words. I wish all of you, especially those of you who listen from other countries, a really wonderful evening. You guys going out of your way, watching the show so late at night, especially even the people here, people who are working remotely from home tomorrow because of coronavirus. I appreciate you for tuning in. Oh, we just lost Instagram. But I appreciate.
Hi, IG.
I appreciate you tuning in, and I wish you all the best. We will get through this. Love you so much. Have a great night. What an awesome episode. We will see you next week to pick up all the pieces and go into a whole other direction next week. So we bid you adieu. Bye.
Bye.